Well, alright guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 or 3 of the, the Excelsior build-up. But now what I'm doing is masking off, and what I've been doing is I'll show if I can get in here. I've already gotten my primary colors put in there. I've gotten the blue for the main, and then a few shots of gold, which is here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not in the shot. Here, and a few other shots. Let me back out a little bit here. I realize I'm too far in, but I've got a few of the shots of gold in there, and then I went through and used this little piece here. It's got random pattern in there, and I've gone through and gotten the green put in. Down. So what I'm going to do now is my client is, instead of using red, he's chosen to use iridescent violet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this side and work my way around, and just using the random pattern. So I've already got the iridescent violet put in. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of, what I did is, this one's not quite exactly for this ship, so what I did is I'm just kind of move it in certain places. For the green, I used it and I went through and put it center for four panels here. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of off center it a little bit and kind of go in between. That way it's not exactly not exactly centered. That way it won't be as kind of put it a little bit off kilter here. That way it's not overlapping. So trying to make it as square as possible, because like I said, this one's not for this ship. And what I'll do is I'll go through and put some tape down here to where it on the edges, so I don't get overspray on the rest of the ship. And what I'll do is I'll reuse this tape. Alright, like I said, I use this blue masking tape, 3M masking tape here, and it works real good. So, alright, we'll do a test shot on some styrene here to make sure it's, yeah, that looks good. So, we're ready to go. So what I'll do is I'll just spray a little bit in. Make sure we got it good there. Alright. Kind of dry it off, and what we'll do is I'll peel the tape off and move it to a different spot. We'll do that all the way around the saucer. Oh yeah. Now that we got our one spot here, I'll lift it up to make sure we have it leveled off. And then I'll put the tape back on there and do the same thing again. Alright, now she's ready for the... Now she's ready again, so I'll just start spraying. We'll remove the tape and go on to the next spot. We'll do this several times around the top of the saucer. Take my heat gun here and just kind of give it a force dry. Move on to this spot. Alright, we'll tape this off. Just like we've been doing it. It goes pretty quick once you start learning once you get a good starting point. Alright, there we go. Sometimes we have to go through and clean your tip a little bit just to get a I'll let that dry. What I'm going to do now is kind of get some fresh in there. Pour this out. Shake it up a little bit and give it some fresh. Because sometimes what it does is that pigment starts falling apart. And one thing I want to mention too, guys, is the fact that this polytransbar, it comes pre-mixed and ready to go. All you got to do is pour it in, but you want to make sure that when you're with this lacquer based, the color pigmentation settles at the bottom. So if you're not careful, all the pigmentation will settle to the bottom, and you'll just have the paint in here, and you're not going to have the coloration. So you have to shake it up real good, and sometimes you're going to have to get down in there with something to stir it up, and get up in there and really stir it, so to get that pigmentation going again. So alright, now that we got that re-stirred, now if that's dried off a little bit, I might go ahead and just kind of respray that, because that don't look like it's really gotten and good thing to have around handy too is some acetone. That helps with the coloration, to help clean it off real quick. Well, that's done. Now we can move on to the next one. Can move on to the next set. From there, alright, now that that's done, we can peel this off, and it just gets easier and easier, and you can get a little bit faster at doing it each time. And just got one more section. It's turning out real nice. You can barely see that violet, and that's kind of the thing is you want to just get it to where it's just barely visible on this. And ever so often with these airbrushes and this pigmentation, it stops up if you're not using it, so you got to kind of clean it a little bit, just enough to give it spray on there. All right. Well, what we'll do here is put it up here on this one, and I'll just use this piece here and just kind of really slightly go across it there, and then we'll do it again on the other side. So we really don't need the tape anymore. No, well, I got that side, so alright, well, that's it. Give me just 1 second here, folks, to pour this back in here and close this bottle up. One thing I want to mention too, guys, is the fact that you want to clean out your brush, keep something in it like acetone to wash through it real good. All I'll do is I'll let that set while I'm kind of giving this a little bit of a force dry. All right. Well, there you have it. Now you can see. Let me zoom in. You have all your colors there. Like I said, the violet's not going to show up real a whole lot on the camera, but it's there. So now all we can do is once it's dry in the morning, I'll come in through here and put a gloss coat on here to seal it off and get ready for laying our decals here on the front and up here on the side, and then get ready for our registration. So alright guys, well, that'll take care of it for this evening, and we'll go from the next one. The next time I will start laying down the Aztec. We'll go through and lay the Aztecing for the nacelles and the side, and we'll start going through and getting the bottom ready. So alright guys, well, that'll do it for this evening, and we'll see you in the next round. So until then, everybody, we'll talk to you later. Have a good one.